Hello, and welcome back to episode, is it 10? I should really look at this before I start recording. I'm quite sure that it's 10 of Rachel Knits Things. Oof, I cannot talk today. This is a space for me to talk about my knitting, crocheting, crafting, my goals for that. And to show off my works in progress, finished objects, and kind of help me motivate myself along to finish things and keep with them and not put things in a corner and forget about them for a year. So as I said, my name's Rachel. I am a knitter and crocheter from southeastern Michigan, where I live with my husband and our 4 cats in our beautiful home. Now, it is a stormy day here in southeastern Michigan, so I have a ring light out to kind of help me along. I've got it pointed up towards the ceiling so that hopefully the glare on, I think most of the glare is actually from the window across from me, because it's cloudy and I'm not getting a whole lot of light, but just enough that it's causing the window to glare on my glasses, probably because I just cleaned them. And it's also glaring on the little window into the office door. So, yeah, it's been a week, but let's jump on in to everything. I finally went this morning to get my hair done, and get it recolored. We did a little bit of, color correction so that the bangs are a little bit more peekaboo. I've pulled it half back just so that it's a little more visible. But I literally got back from getting my hair done a couple of hours ago. I went out to go get myself some breakfast while my husband went along to go, he is building his grandpa a computer because it's cheaper for him to build him one than it is to buy one pre-built. He's big into gaming and built himself and myself both PCs, gaming PCs. So he's building his grandpa a new one. Not for gaming, mostly for Facebook browsing, but still, he can do that a whole lot cheaper than to buy one. And since he can do it, why not? So, jumping right in, I've got a couple of acquisitions here. So my first acquisition, I went out to Barnes & Noble last weekend and was just kind of browsing around, and I had seen this a couple of times before, but I hadn't purchased it, obviously, because I purchased it last weekend. So it's the 52 Weeks of Socks book, and I'm just now knitting hopefully the first pair of socks that I'll actually finish, but I figured, you know, give it a go. Why not? So that is my first acquisition, and the second is over here to my side. I got the yarn for my Salty Days sweater. This is Knitting for Olive Merino and soft silk mohair in the color Red Currant or Currant. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's this gorgeous red color. Does it clash with my hair? Maybe a little bit. We'll just have to go pink. It's this gorgeous, gorgeous red color. It's so adorable. Yeah, it's gonna look fantastic. So this arrived really quickly for Knitting for Olive. I know I've had some issues in the past with it getting through customs. Previously, it's taken like, it sat at customs, I want to say for like a week on previous orders. So it took me like 2 weeks to get it, but I don't think it had even been a full week by the time, since I ordered, by the time that it arrived at my door. So that was really nice experience overall. But yes, so those are my 2 acquisitions. I do have a finished object, which is another of the little crochet peep bunnies. I tried putting the eyes onto the, like, beginning of round side, and that was really not a good idea, because it looks sad. This peep looks sad. So, this purple yarn in this, I don't know what, but you can see there's a couple of little, like, gaps and things in it. I truly don't know what is wrong with this yarn. It is baffling to me. I'm gonna hope that it's just a bad batch and it's not always like this with this color, because the others are fine and it's all the same type. It's all the Parfait, the Premier Yarns Parfait Chunky. All of them are that same one. It's just this particular color, like, has a real easy breaking point. So I don't know. I'm gonna guess that it is something to do with this. This took me 2 hours and 17 minutes because I was dealing with that easy breaking yarn that just does not want to cooperate. Yeah, it's still cute though. And a little, like I said, it's a little sad. The little eyes are just a little bit sad. Now, I have a new cast on. We all knew this was gonna happen. I cast on the beginning of the Salty Days sweater. It's still attached, but I finished the back yoke. Is that what it's called still? Is it still called the yoke? I think it is. And so that is the back, like, to the shoulders section here. It's so pretty. Look at this. Hang on, I'm turning it upside down because look at that lace. It's so pretty. I got so excited when that yarn showed up and I cast it on. This took me 9 hours and 3 minutes. I'm making the size 3, which I know, crazy. I have like a 43-inch bust measurement. So the fact that I'm only making a size medium in this is really wild. But I got so excited and I just had to cast it on. This is like, the ease is suggested 6 to 8 inches. I don't know what it is in centimeters. I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't feel like dealing with centimeters. I don't know my bust measurement in centimeters. I could very easily figure out my bust measurement in centimeters, but it's not happening. So I was so excited and I just cast it on. I wasn't paying attention and did not do the increase repeat enough times. I did it one short, so I had several too many stitches because the increase repeat is 6 rows because you've got this 1x2 rib that you have to be increasing in. So it was 12 stitches, too short. And I got to the first row of this diamond lace section and I got to the end of it and I went, that's not right. And I finally counted my stitches. That's my problem. I never want to count my stitches, and I did not have enough stitches, obviously. So, I was so excited. I couldn't help myself. I just had to cast it on. But yeah, so this is size medium. And that is, I think the finished bust circumference is like 48.5 inches or something. So I was right at that, like, within the recommended ease, but the next size up is way too big. And I don't often talk about it on here a lot. I struggle with my weight. I have PCOS, so it's very difficult for me to maintain a healthy weight. So my weight is, like, up and down a lot. And I don't necessarily want my bust measurement to be any larger than what it is right now, or want the rest of me to be any larger than it is right now, and I'm actively trying to lose weight. It is a struggle, but Yeah, all bodies are beautiful, but personally for me, I'm already struggling in the body that I'm in. So we're gonna hopefully lose some weight and make some things about my life a little bit easier. But yes, so this is the Salty Days sweater. I'm very excited about this. I've not cut the yarn yet, and I don't have any more cables for my Like Cipra needles. I don't know if that's how you say this. So I didn't feel like transferring the stitches onto like a cord or whatever. I did buy, it's not here yet, it'll be here tomorrow. I did buy some of the tried on tubing, as aka Norinitz calls it. I don't remember what the actual purpose of what she uses is, but it's like this hollow rubber tube that she uses that can like connect to the end of the needle, and then you just yank the needle out of the stitches. So I'm either gonna do that, or I'm gonna leave this part on the needles, and once I finish the base of the shorts for my Sporty Knit skirt, I'm gonna take that cable and use it because I want to continue this, but I'm hoping to get some other stuff done on my other whips before doing so. And the Like Cipras were the only needles, even with this yarn, which I hadn't swatched with yet, but I'd swatched with the heavy merino with a strand of mohair, and I wasn't getting gauge. So I did that on my Addi Turbos, Addi Click Turbo, whatever they're called. My Addi Clicks, the shorties, is what I had been swatching with. And then I swatched with my Like's and I got gauge. So these are the only needles that I can use, the only needles that I can get gauge on. I'm also have my wooden 5mm are on another project. Can't exactly use those. So that's the Salty Days sweater. It's been so fun. I've been so excited. Obviously getting that little rush of casting on a new project is always exciting, and you just want to keep working on it. And with something like that is got like the textured panels, it keeps it interesting, it keeps it fun. So on to my works in progress. We'll start with the one that is just kind of hanging out here. This is my Wool-Ease Wow blanket. We are on the 5th stripe. We were on the 3rd last week. So I put in about another 4 hours on this so far. Again, I haven't really been timing it. I've just I know how long it takes me, like how much time of like active knitting it takes me to get through one ball of this. So it's a guesstimate. Last week I was at 4 hours. This week it's about the same. So we're just, actually it might be, yeah. So I did about 3 stripes worth of knitting because I had left off in the middle of the 3rd stripe last week. So that puts it at actually 4 hours and 30 minutes-ish, around. So yes, that's the blanket that I am working on, and it's super, super quick, super easy. I have 3 more balls to go through after this, so maybe I'll be done by next week, and that'll be it off of my plate, which is fantastic. Alrighty. Ooh, that hit my cord for my thing. So I went and got my hair done today. We stopped and picked up coffees on the way there, and I'm just having an afternoon pick-me-up now for while I'm recording. Sorry, I had a little hiccup, and then it stopped. So I put on this outfit to record in, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna make myself a little afternoon pick-me-up, whatever. And I got my espresso thing, like I don't know what it's called. The little thing that the espresso goes in. And I was clearing that out because my husband had left it in and he hadn't cleaned it. And then so I was doing that and he had left it in the thing instead of like taking it off and setting it on the grate like I usually do. So it was still like full of like coffee. There was still essentially coffee inside of it because he hadn't like taken it off to let it like air out and dry out from yesterday. So I was trying to clean it out and I sprayed, like, there's espresso all over my shirt and it's little teeny dots, so you probably can't see it, especially not on camera, but I can see it and it's kind of annoyed me. And so then I went and I decided, normally I make a mocha, I decided I'll just make a little vanilla latte because I'm almost out of mocha syrup. And we've got vanilla and it's one of those pump bottles and I went to pump it. It hit the bottom of my mug, and no, I don't even think it did. I think I hit the pump too hard or something, and it sprayed out and up and directly onto my glasses and into my bangs. And because she did the color correction, I really am not supposed to wash my hair for a few days because she did some dark brown to, like I said, give it a more peekaboo look instead of what it was like, just so that it, you know, if I take so long between appointments again, like I did this time, which I normally do. A lot of the times I'll trim my bangs at least once by myself before I go back. I also normally, you know, trim or recolor my hair by myself, but it's so much work to do it, and it wasn't happening. So yeah, it sprayed directly into my bangs. Luckily, it wasn't too bad. I just like kind of combed them through and made sure there was no like sticky spots or anything after it like kind of dried down a little. That sounds really weird, but desperate times, okay? I didn't even take a drink of this. I picked this up to take a drink and didn't. So, my next work in progress, I'm going to pull out the honey cardigan, and because I have started putting my little progress keeper on the front side, it's so easy for me to find the front now. So there's the progress that I made, there's where I left off. I worked on this for about, where did it go? An hour. This is only an hour of work. This month, you know, it's not one of my top priorities. I've got a couple of goals and a couple of things that I'm really working to work on. So yeah, it's slow growing. Well, it's actually fast growing on the front panel because it's so much smaller, but slow growing for the moment, and it'll continue to be that way for a little bit, for a little while longer. Set that down there. And the DRK Everyday Socks. Here they are. I worked on these for about 2.5 hours this week. So I got a few rows done. You can see the progress keeper right there. I got through like 2.5 stripes. So they're very, very slow growing because I'm doing them 2 at a time. It takes time. And the small circumference, the small needles are a little bit hard on my hands, but these are so funky and they look so cute, and they've got these like the colors give off these vintage vibes. I don't know why. I think it's like the tone of them reminds me of like the kind of, it's not a filter, but the tone of like old photographs, you know, how it would like, what it would do to colors. In like the 70s, I want to say, like late 60s and into the 70s. I don't know why. That's what it reminds me of. I think that's what a lot of the Croix sock, like the stripe ones, not the marled ones, kind of look like, is they've got this kind of like vintage 70s vibe with their colorways. I don't know if that's intentional or what the reason for that is, but they're really cute. I do love these colors. And maybe that's just me making it up, but I think it's just because the white is really just, it's like this kind of dusty, dirty looking cream. And that's a rude thing to say. That's like a rude way to say it, but I don't know any way else to describe it because that's what it looks like to me. It looks like dusty and dirty and like it needs to be washed, but it looks intentional. It looks like it is intentionally that way, but the way this cream looks, it's very, it's giving dusty, dirty white that needs some bleach. Especially when you hold it like next to my shirt. And it's not tan. It is like a cream color. So it was a really random way to say all of those things. The order in which those words came out of my mouth was very strange. So the sporty knit skirt. We're not talking about the muscle bra this week because the muscle bra is still sitting where I left it. There you go. I talked about the muscle bra. We got excited. We cast on a new project. The muscle bra has been forgotten again. The hat's been forgotten. It's sitting in the corner. It's in timeout. It's not getting worked on. Don't talk about it. So, sporty knit skirt. I worked on this for, what did I put it? 4 hours this week. And there is my progress that I made. So we almost got to another row in on this. I have a few more increase rounds in the first set of increases, and then there's a little section of more rapid increases for a few rounds. And then I'm splitting for legs, and this needle will be out of here, the cable will be out of here. So I think I can get to at least to that point where I'm working on like the individual leg this week. Whether that is true or not, who knows? We'll see. It's a we'll have to see it to believe it kind of thing, but I think I should be able to get to that this week. I don't think that's like an unreasonable expectation because I don't have too many. So if I sit down and work on it, it should be good, which I think I'm definitely going to be doing because I've got something that I am sitting down and reading right now, and it's grabbed my attention. So it should be something that is quite easily done within this week. I have not moved a single progress keeper at all. We were too excited. We got so excited, and now we're going to have to pick all of these things up, and we're going to have to move the progress keepers because our excitement was just too much. And by our, I mean me. And the voices in my head. Oh, that goes way over here. Excuse me. Sir, what are you doing? So yes, I took myself out for a little breakfast date. I was working on this there because I was by myself, so I was like, yay, I can sit and I can knit and I don't have anyone complaining that I'm sitting and knitting while sitting at a restaurant, because my husband does find it slightly annoying. He doesn't understand. He's like, why do you need to do that here? What else am I gonna do? Would you rather I sit and scroll on my phone? Sometimes I do that while knitting. So this week I knit a total of 22 hours and 50 minutes. That is, of course, guesstimated on some of these anyway. Some of these items were a guess and not an accurate depiction. Why are you stubborn? That's not a good way to do that. Oh my goodness. There we go. Alright. That's in there. It's moved up a little. He's in his spaceship. I'm not gonna put a stitch marker on the Salty Days because I'm at the end of the yoke, and so then I will have to pick up stitches at the shoulders to do the front, the left and right front of the neck. So there's really nowhere for me to put a stitch marker on that right at this very moment. So that can go on once those are picked up and we can actually like see progress. Is there anything else? I don't know. Yeah, that was really interesting, how the different needles were affecting my gauge. And I really wanted to use the new Addi clicks. They're fun and exciting, and they're a new needle for me, but my tension on them was just way too tight, and I'm not sure what that was about, but it's all good. So, is there anything else that I need to move a progress keeper on? No, I don't think I have anything else. Yeah, I think that is all for this week. Don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe so you can come back next week, and I will see you then. Bye!